Stage with Chris, Tuesday nights live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday and that you guys are ready to make some really tasty dinner. At least that's the goal.
I'm all for tasty dinner personally. I've never turned away a tasty dinner.
Yep.
That's
very true. We are both happy to eat good tasty dinner anytime.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. And before anything else happens, before we forget, I have to say a very happy birthday to the beautiful lady behind the camera. Today is Ash's birthday. And if you guys would do me a favor and say happy birthday to her in the chat and let her know that you love her and you appreciate all she does for this channel, because goodness knows I would not be able to do this without her. I have also in the description box of this video linked her website, her YouTube channel, as well as her latest single. And if you would like to tell her happy birthday, a great way of doing that would be to go follow her on YouTube. If you don't already, subscribe to her channel and then go and stream her song. I have the Spotify link down there for you, so all you got to do is click on it and listen.
Well, you're so sweet. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I feel like a birthday princess.
You're very welcome. What are you, like 21 today or something?
Yeah. No, I'm actually 33 today.
No way.
Yeah, 30, the big 33. But I act like a 12-year-old, and I kind of feel like I'm 17.
I think we all kind of act that way around here.
Yeah. So you know what though? I like acting like a 12-year-old.
That's right.
It's more fun.
Life's too short to grow up.
Absolutely. Hey, do you want to say hi to some people in the
I
comments?
would love to say hello. Tell us you guys are here. Say hi to us in the chat. So who do we got?
Aurora Bleu says hello.
Hello, Aurora Blue.
Janelle is here.
Hi, Janelle.
She says, woohoo, let's get this birthday party started.
That's right. Right?
Yeah, thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. Less junk, more health. I like that
hello.
username.
That's a great handle.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I haven't been able to be in a while. Looking forward to being back to watch your live.
Oh, well, we're so glad you're here. We're very happy.
Yeah. 22Q Cat says, hi, Chris. Hi, birthday girl. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Lynn. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah. We got Ames today. Says hello from Washington.
Hello. Good to see you.
Sean's here. SD Bradley 510.
Hello, Sean.
Lots of happy birthday wishes. Thank you guys so much.
Wonderful.
Let's see here. Ursula Dozer's here. Says,
hello, Ursula.
Says happy birthday. Your parents are watching.
Hey, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, we got a whole crew in here.
Well, cool.
And also, before we forget, if you guys are watching, hit the thumbs up button.
Yes.
Hit the thumbs up.
Please hit the thumbs up button and make sure you've told us that you're here in the chat. We love that.
Yeah, share it with your friends, your family, your neighbors.
Yep,
but
that's
yeah,
right.
Thank you guys all so much. There's so many beautiful happy birthday messages. Y'all are so sweet.
Yes.
Janelle, by the way, very smart. We're a little ahead of her, but still. She says, I think you need 2 silver play buttons so you don't need to keep moving it every time you live stream.
Yes. So I actually have 2. You get one for free and then YouTube makes you pay for the next one. But Ash and I were talking about that and we realized that if I'm moving it from here upstairs and then upstairs back down here every time, over time I'm afraid it would just get beaten up and destroyed. So we paid the money to have a second one so that I can have a play button on both of my locations for shooting in the house here. So yes, Janelle's very smart.
Very smart. I like it, Janelle.
She's watching out for us.
Yeah, she is. Productivity.
Yeah.
Sip of Divinity says hello from Montreal, Canada.
Oh, hello. You're a long way away from Nashville. Glad you're here.
Yeah. Mary Kay Wesling is in the house.
Hello, Mary Kay.
Says hi from Kansas City, Mo. Happy birthday, Ash.
Yes, we're so glad
friend.
you're here, and thank you for the birthday wishes for the beautiful lady there behind the camera.
Hey, thank you.
Yes.
So what yummy, tasty, delicious thing are we making here tonight?
We're having some fun tonight. So, you guys, you watch me cook, and a lot of times I use like either recipes that I've already done as a recipe video, or I kind of just sort of make up a sauce, or I do these different kinds of things for you here on Tuesdays. Tonight, I thought I would do something a little bit different. I thought we would play around a little bit, and we'd do something that was kind of a different take on a classic. So chicken cordon bleu is a classic dish that everybody knows about with, well, a lot of people know about at least, with chicken, and it's breaded and fried, and on the inside of that chicken they have like Swiss cheese and ham, and it's very tasty. It's very kind of old school, you know, classic food, like classic chefy type stuff, like French type, you know, old style of doing recipes. And I thought, you know, it's cool, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to create chicken cordon bleu, because you got to get everything on the inside, and it's very saucy when you cut it open, because they usually make like a cheese type sauce that goes inside, or like a real melty thin cheese or whatever. Plus you have to bread it and fry it, which is messy, and it can be a little difficult. And then of course you have the whole thing of what about trying to get rid of carbohydrates when you're breading and frying something. And so there's a lot of different reasons that I was like, you know, I just don't really want to do that. So what I thought I would do instead is something that I think is a little more accessible and a little more fun and more interesting, and kind of an updated way of doing a chicken cordon bleu. So what I have is, in the sous vide over there, I took 2 chicken breasts and I butterflied them open. And if you don't know how to do this, it's very straightforward. Just trim all the excess junk off the edges of your chicken breast, the fat and, you know, whatever. You lay your chicken breast down, and on the thickest part, you start slicing through the middle of it parallel to your cutting board. And you go very slowly, and you just cut it in half this way as you're folding the top half backwards. And you get it to where it'll lay out flat, and it's gonna be twice the size that it was. Kind of gets like a little bit of almost like a heart shape because of the shape of a chicken breast. So I laid it out flat. I took a meat mallet and I pounded on it just to kind of spread it out a little bit more and tenderize it. And then I seasoned it. And I used salt, some pepper, and a little bit of thyme. Just, you can season it really however you want, but salt, pepper, a little bit of thyme, totally optional. You could also do what I did and put a little pinch of nutmeg, just a very small amount, because we're gonna have a cream sauce that goes along with this. And nutmeg and cream sauce and Swiss cheese, it all just worked really well. So I pounded that out. The next thing I did, I took thin sliced deli ham. Get whatever kinds you want. You could use like your own ham at home, and you could just cut some pieces off of it. There's lots of ways of doing this, but I just took thin sliced deli ham. I laid it over the chicken breast to cover it after I'd seasoned the chicken breast. And then I got an 8-ounce block, about that big, of Swiss cheese. And I cut it long ways right down the center, so I had 2 sticks of Swiss cheese, one for each of the chicken breasts. I laid that on the chicken breast kind of near the edge, rolled the chicken breast and ham up around that Swiss cheese. I vacuum sealed it, and I dropped it in my sous vide container over here at 147 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's talk a little bit about safe cooking temperature and sous vide and chicken breasts. So the restaurant industry standard for chicken is that it has to be 165 degrees to be food safe, because that is the temperature of pasteurization. But let's talk about what pasteurization actually is. Pasteurization is all bacteria is being killed, and it exists on an XY axis, where you have temperature on the x-axis and time on the y-axis. So basically, once you get beyond a certain temperature, you start to pasteurize that food, but it takes longer at that temperature. The higher the temperature goes, the less time it takes. The reason 165 degrees is the restaurant industry standard and requirement for food safety is because 165 degrees is the temperature of instant pasteurization, where all bacteria that would make you sick in a raw chicken breast is killed. But the problem is, if you cook a raw chicken breast up to 165 degrees, it can very quickly overcook, and it can get very dry and stringy. So if you've ever eaten a chicken breast and you feel like you're picking strings of it out of your teeth, and it's dry and it's hard and it's not good, that's because all the moisture has been squeezed out of it, because those proteins have set too much at 165 or more, pushed all of the moisture out, and you get a dry, kind of flavorless chicken breast. The nice thing with a sous vide is you can actually hold the chicken breast at a lower temperature for a longer amount of time to also achieve pasteurization without having to cook the proteins to such a high temperature. So I do 147 degrees. That's our favorite. And that has been in there for roughly 4 hours. You want about an hour per inch of thickness. That's about 1.5 inches when it's rolled up. So more than enough time for it to come 147 all the way through. And then I hold it at 147 degrees for several hours. And by doing that, you're using that pasteurization table, which you can go to Google and you can just find pasteurization tables and see the temperature something needs to be at for a certain amount of time, how long it has to be at that temperature for it to be pasteurized. So 2.5, 3 hours on this chicken is more than enough at 147. But I can just leave it there and have it ready to go for the live stream. So that has been completely cooked, completely pasteurized, but it is a lower temperature than if I was doing this at like 165 or trying to roast it. So if you don't have a sous vide, I hear some of you saying, I don't have a sous vide, what do I do with something like this? You can also roast this in an oven. You can do 375 degrees, put it in a roasting dish, roast it until it starts to turn a little brown on top, and you just do it until it is cooked all the way through. The juices run clear. The easiest thing to do is get yourself an instant read thermometer and test the center and bring it up to 165 degrees. You want to pull it out several degrees before 165, maybe like 160, 161, 162, because carryover cooking will take it that next few degrees. That way you don't totally overcook it. Use a thermometer, and you can totally do this in an oven as well. But ideally, if you have a sous vide, that is an ultimate way of doing this because you can keep it at a lower temperature, still pasteurize it, still make it food safe, and chicken breast at 147 degrees is 1,000 times better than chicken breast at 165. And you could do this with fattier chicken like thigh. If you do a thigh, I take that to 167 because the higher fat content, actually it's nicer at a higher temperature. So you can kind of play around with this in different ways, but this is a cool way of doing a Cordon Bleu style thing because we have the chicken rolled around the ham with the Swiss cheese in the center. I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna get to play with fire. I'm gonna use my flame torch to finish it. And then we're gonna put a nice cream sauce over it. And because it's my wife's birthday, she's a beautiful, wonderful woman, and she loves her veggies. Even though she does eat more protein heavy and not as many veggies as she used to, she still fluctuates back and forth between keto and carnivore depending on how she's feeling. I have some bacon wrapped asparagus I'm gonna show you how to do in the air fryer as well, because she loves bacon wrapped asparagus. She loves asparagus of any kind, but when you add bacon to it, she's a very happy lady.
I'm a very happy lady.
Yes. So that's what we're doing tonight. So it sounds really intense, but it's really not that hard at all. It's just a lot of little details that if you string them all together, make a very simple dish. Mm-hmm. And because of the sous vide, just holding it at an exact temperature, it's ready when you are.
Awesome.
That's what we're doing.
I love it.
Yeah.
20GQ Cat says, watch out. Chris is getting that flame torch out tonight.
That's right. We're going to have some fun. I love the flame torch. So I've got the chicken in the sous vide. I've got the bacon wrapped asparagus. This is just like 8 to 12 stalks of asparagus in each of these little bundles with a piece of bacon wrapped around. I rolled the asparagus around in a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper beforehand, so it's lightly seasoned. That's going to go into the air fryer, which I'm going to start preheating right now at the maximum temperature. And we're going to do that for like 6 minutes just to get it nice and hot in there so that when we set that in there, we get a little bit of a sizzle. We're going to get a little more crisp on the bacon, and I'll tell you about that. And in the meantime, I'm going to start making this sauce. And this is a really cool thing that I'm going to do here with garlic that I want to show you guys. I have garlic, a couple of like medium-sized cloves. I have 1 shallot. Remember, these are always optional. You don't have to add any of this if you don't want. Garlic and shallot. I have a couple of teaspoons of Dijon mustard. I have some dry parsley, some salt, some pepper, some butter for sauteing the garlic and the shallots, and I'm going to pull out the heavy cream. It's going to be a cream-based sauce. That's what we're going to do. So let me show you what we're going to do with the garlic cloves while the air fryer's preheating. This is a fun little technique if you need garlic paste. I talked about this in the previous live stream. If you need garlic paste, this is what we're going to do to make it really easy. So I'm going to firstly slice these garlic cloves very carefully and fairly thin, because if you can get some nice little thin slices of garlic, it's going to make this work much better. Throw away the little rough end. Do the same thing with our second clove here. Just like that. Now I'm just very briefly going to kind of roughly chop through. Just make those pieces a little smaller. So you get kind of a little bit of a dice. And then, once we've kind of diced through all of that roughly, this is really cool. This is a lot of fun. Now this works even better if you have something like a Maldon flake salt, but you can also use like the Redmond's real salt that I have here. So we're going to get all of our garlic into a little pile right here. And then we're going to take salt, good sized pinch, right over the top, and we're going to be using this to help season our sauce, so you don't have to worry about it being like crazy salty. If you're going to do this in a sauce that doesn't need a lot of salt, be careful you don't add too much. So we put salt right across the top. We're going to take the knife and we're going to put our fingers here. So this is the dull side of the knife. Sharp side is over here. So from the dull side, I'm going to lay the knife down flat. I'm going to push that salt into the garlic and I'm going to pull my knife across the cutting board. Watch this. Just like that. I'm going to do that a couple of times. And I'm kind of angling the sharp edge down a little bit, but I'm pulling it and sliding it across the garlic. And then you can scrape that back together, bring it back over here, make a little pile. And we're just going to keep doing that. And we're kind of using downward pressure to help crush with my fingers and then pulling it sideways so it pulls that out. And what that salt is doing is it's pulling moisture out of that garlic and helping to break down the cell walls, and the roughness of the salt on a microscopic level also starts to crush all of those little cell walls. And so I'm just kind of scraping across it. And if you do that several times, you get this amazing and beautiful garlic paste.
Look at that.
Way better than any of that pre-made crap in a tube. Way better because it has all the good flavor. It's not oxidized. It's nothing weird going on there. There's no preservatives. There's no chemicals. Nothing you have to worry about. And it smells amazing. So there you go. Instant garlic paste. They can now be used in a recipe. So I'm also going to cut up a shallot. And we're going to saute some shallot and garlic together in butter. Because what's better for something like this than shallots and garlic and butter?
Nothing.
Nothing is the correct answer. Do we have any questions or comments from anybody?
Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Janelle says, fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and then the redneck likes to get his fancy on.
Exactly. Carrie is here and says, I caught another live. Chris is just clucking away.
Hi, Carrie. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah.
I'm definitely doing something.
Maritza Garza is here, says, hi everyone. 22Q Cat says, oh, I made your noodles with beef and did your cheeseburger helper.
Awesome.
Yum. That was so good.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. If you guys did not know, that is the most recent recipe video I put out using beef to make my famous piped into the hot water pasta noodles, and I used it and made cheeseburger helper. I had somebody else that also commented on that video, said that they had just made it for their kids, and their kids said this tastes just like hamburger helper to them. So there you go.
It. That's why I requested it. I was like, hey, great recipe.
Absolutely.
Lynn also says, it's amazing that the noodles are beef.
It's really wild. You would not know that they're made out of beef. Now, based on the color that they are, you might look at them and go, I don't know what that is, but it is something that I'm trying to figure it out. You may say that, but you're not going to taste it, I don't think, and know that it's made out of beef at all.
Yeah.
All right, our air fryer has just told me it is done preheating. So before we finish chopping the shallots, I'm just going to take the bacon wrapped asparagus, pull out the air fryer here. It's very hot, so we're going to be careful. Now the bacon ends are going to go down because that's going to help hold that together and seal that in. We want a nice little sear. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it is sizzling away as we drop it in. Make sure there's some space around the sides of each one, just like that. This is now going to go back into the air fryer. And we're going to start at about 390. We're going to kind of play with this as we go. 390, and I'm going to give that about 8 minutes. And I'm really more concerned about the bacon being cooked the way I want than I am the asparagus. The asparagus is going to cook, but I'm thinking more about how crispy and how scrumptious the bacon is.
Bacon, incredible.
Yes.
Let's see here. Grand Sherry D says, does the shallots taste a lot different than onions? I have never used them.
Yeah, so shallots they're kind of like an onion in certain ways. And they're kind of like garlic in certain ways. I kind of think of shallots being kind of halfway between the two. They're not as distinct of an onion flavor as an onion, but they're more oniony than garlic. So they kind of sit somewhere in between. They're a little sweet, but the reason I really like it in something like this, they get very soft very easily because they have very small layers. So when you dice it up, you get a really small dice and they get really soft and they almost melt. So you get this texture in a sauce that is really rich and soft and melty, and they have a very mild, kind of sweet oniony flavor. Really, really nice. That's why I like them.
Stephen Stone says, rockin' the vest, Chris.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Got to represent all the rednecks out there.
That's right. Matt Franklin is here.
Hey, Matt.
He says, hello, Chris Ashmel and everybody in the room. And he also says, happy birthday, Ash.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. 22Q Cat says, nearly 100 peeps in here. Thumbs up tonight, everyone.
That's right. We would appreciate that very much, guys. I love doing this. And the more people are here, the better time we have. So if you would share and just tell everybody we're here, we'd really appreciate that.
Maritza says that the bacon wrapped asparagus looks amazing.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Ash really enjoys, again, as I said, asparagus of any kind, but that bacon wrapped in the air fryer, that's just a fun way to have asparagus. And you get these beautiful little bundles of asparagus with, a little salty piece of bacon wrapped around. It's just really cool. So
yeah,
that's a fun one. Thought I would go ahead and share that with you guys tonight because, despite what some people might imagine, I do occasionally have veggies. So not on a daily basis, but every now and then.
You're a wild man.
Bit. I know.
Veggies.
I'm just not the best carnivore, and I'm never going to win that trophy that everyone's after. So
there you go.
All right, so we have one shallot diced up. I have a couple of cloves of garlic turned into garlic paste there. I just turned my skillet on, and we're going to put in a couple of tablespoons of butter to saute the garlic and the shallot.
Awesome. Janelle and 22 Goo Cat saying, by the way, that they have knife envy.
You guys did not know, I work with a wonderful company called Knife Saga. There is a link in my description box that will give you a discount if you would like to go to Knife Saga. They have some amazing chef's knives. They're also really good on the budget, better than the ones I used to use and used to represent for you guys. These are a little bit cheaper, and they're a better knife. They're more balanced. This is the X4 Pro set that they sent me, but they have a bunch of different kinds for several different levels of budget, and you can also buy just individual chef's knives if you don't want to buy a whole set. So Knife Saga for the win, and I'm going to be working more with them and maybe even doing some special giveaways and stuff soon. So you guys hang out and keep an eye out for that. So the shallots are going to go in first because they are bigger pieces. They're going to take longer to cook. So we're going to put those in first, and we're going to turn this temperature down a little bit so we don't get them too brown too quickly. And if you make a mess like I do, that's okay.
It just means you're having fun.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect in the kitchen. Everybody makes messes, everybody messes up recipes. It's just a learning process is what we do.
Awesome.
There we go. So I'm just going to get the shallots in there. And now I'm not going to go ahead and put a pinch of salt in on top of this. A lot of times I do that because it helps kind of draw the moisture out. I'm not going to do that because there's already salt on the garlic, which is going to be going in here in just a minute. So
cool.
But if there was no salt on my garlic, if I was just doing like a diced garlic and I was not going to be putting that in there, I would put a little pinch of salt on top of the shallots to help pull out the moisture. And this is on a medium heat right now, so.
Awesome. Janelle says, I usually end up wearing what I'm cooking.
If you're not wearing what you're cooking, are you really even trying? I mean, that's just,
yeah.
You guys can't always see it, but there's always stuff on my clothes by the time we get done.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot better than if I was cooking. I tend to just have it everywhere and anywhere.
Well, that's all right.
Jill Russell says, happy birthday, Ash. Thank you, Jill. says, I picked up a nice Saga set using your discount for my boyfriend's birthday.
Awesome.
He loves them.
Awesome. I'm so glad. They're so well balanced. They're so comfortable. And it's like, are they a $5,000 knife set? No, but then again, I've never had a $5,000 knife set, so I can't really actually say that with confidence. But regardless, they're great. They are really, really great. Okay, so here's a couple of minutes of sauteing the shallot. I'm gonna go ahead and now add in our beautiful garlic paste. Look at that. And you're gonna see as I stir this around, that garlic paste is gonna kind of just disappear. Oh, it smells amazing too when you start to toast that garlic up. Now we put the garlic in second because again, it's cut up a lot smaller. And as that cooks down and breaks up, that could very easily burn if we put it in there for too long because they're very, very microscopically tiny broken up pieces. And we don't want to burn our garlic because then it gets bitter. Okay. So there's our garlic and our shallots all toasted up. That garlic being pasty and small like that takes like 30 seconds to cook the raw flavor out. And sometimes the raw flavor of garlic is nice, but in a dish like this, we don't want raw garlic. So now I'm going to take some heavy cream. And you guys know, I don't really measure. We're just going to make some sauce. That's probably like, I don't know, a half cup. And we're going to start to stir this all together. And we're going to begin to cook this down, and then I'm going to show you how we add even more flavor into it here in just a minute.
I like it. You were talking, by the way, about the asparagus in the air fryer that is looking so delicious. What video is it that you have coming out this Saturday that people can keep an eye out for?
So this Saturday, we are going to have the ultimate crispy chicken wing. I tried 5 different methods of making chicken wings because I love making chicken wings for us. And if you guys haven't tried my buffalo sauce recipe, I'll be linking to that at the end of this video that we're coming out with this Saturday so that you can go get the buffalo sauce because after you see the wings, you're going to want to have the buffalo sauce and make buffalo wings. But I make chicken wings all the time and I thought, can these be made better? Can these be made crispier? So we decided to find out. So we're going to take some chicken wings and we're going to figure out what the best way is to make chicken wings to get the crispiest and most tasty chicken wing possible. And I actually have a couple of options in there if you don't have like an air fryer or if you don't want to use an oven. Like there's multiple methods and hint, hint, multiple of them turn out really good, but there were a couple that were definitely our favorites. So there's multiple options of how you can do it, but it's a lot of fun to test it out. So,
yeah.
All right, so I've got this on low right now. We're gonna check our bacon wrapped asparagus. That was 8 minutes. And you can see this is looking beautiful, but I want it to go a little longer. Get the bacon a little more done and a little more cooked on the asparagus. So I'm gonna give it another 4 minutes at that 390. Now, if you turn the temperature up above 390, you're gonna get more crisp on your bacon, but it's also gonna get crispier on your bacon before the asparagus is properly cooked, and you're also gonna potentially burn the tips of the asparagus. So anywhere from 360 to 390 is where I like to do veggies like that, and if I need to crisp up the bacon, I go on the higher end of that so I can cook longer, get a little crispy on the bacon without totally overdoing the veggies and burning the tip. So, okay. So we're gonna go ahead while we are here. I'm gonna add in my Dijon mustard, a couple of teaspoons of that. And if you don't like Dijon mustard, leave it out, or you could put a different kind of mustard in or whatever you want. But Dijon is my favorite, especially for something like Cordon Bleu. I have some dry parsley. If they're dry herbs, they go in at the beginning while everything's wet. If they're fresh herbs, they go in at the very end right before you serve so that you don't overdo them and break them all down too much by cooking. So dry herbs are gonna go in now. And we're gonna turn this up. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk in that Dijon mustard. And we have the parsley in there as well. And I'm gonna add in a couple of black pepper cracks right here. Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon or so. It doesn't really matter, however much you like. You like more, add more. You like less, add less. You don't like it, don't use it. You can also try white pepper if you find the black pepper oxalates get to you. You can try white pepper. I know Anita, a ketogenic woman, uses white pepper instead of black pepper for that reason. Okay, so we want to kind of simmer this to thicken this down and start to cook this all together. And we'll taste it for salt momentarily. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the chicken roulades from the sous vide, because we actually need some of the juice that is in the bags. So we're going to stop our sous vide, take out our chicken roulade. If you guys don't know, a roulade is basically a meat that has been trimmed or pounded out or whatever to be flat, and then you have stuff in the center and it is rolled up around it and cooked so that you have kind of like a filling in the middle. So that's why these are chicken roulades. Okay, perfect. So this has simmered down, it's starting to thicken up, which is ideal, because we're going to take one of these. We're going to zip open the vacuum seal bag here. And what you'll notice is when you cook sous vide, you get this extra liquid that cooks out of the meat, whatever it is you're cooking, or veggies or whatever it is. Well, guess what? It's full of flavor. So one of these I'm going to take and I'm going to pour all of that chicken juice right in our sauce. And we're going to cook this all together, and that's going to impart this really beautiful chicken flavor that also has a little bit of that ham kind of thing going on, which is what this whole dish is going to taste like. It kind of ties the sauce and the chicken all together by having some of that in there. So now we're just going to bring this back up to a simmer, and we're going to simmer some of the extra liquid off until it thickens back up like a sauce again. And now, since we've added that in, there was salt on the chicken. So now, since we've added that in, I can taste this and see if it's going to need more salt or not. Nope, that's going to cook down and it's going to be perfect just the way it is.
Yum.
And that's why we don't add more salt until after we've tasted it, because that salt with the garlic and the salt on the chicken. Oh, man, that's good. All right, there's our bell for our air fryer. And that is more how I want that bacon to look. That is beautiful, and it's roasted on the ends. You can see the asparagus is starting to wrinkle slightly, which means it's starting to cook the moisture out, so it is cooking through. So I'm just gonna leave that sit in the air fryer for now. We're gonna finish up the sauce and the chicken, and then I'll run that at max temperature for like 1 minute, just to add a little bit of a crisp on the outside, bring everything up to temperature, and it'll be time to serve.
Oh, if y'all could smell what it smells like in here right now.
Oh, it smells amazing.
It smells awesome.
It smells amazing.
Francine says, I'm in the middle of a 3-day fast, and boy, this is looking amazing.
Yeah, this is probably not the kind of thing that on a 3-day fast you're like just jonesing to watch, because it's going to make your fast easier necessarily. So I'm sorry about that. But we're really glad that you're here. We appreciate that anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Stone wants to know, have you got a link for a sous vide?
Yes, so I actually forgot to put it in this video, I realized. However, once this is over, if you type in Chris Cooking Nashville sous vide, you will see a video that has a link in it. It's got this Typher Dome. It's a chicken. It's like the best chicken I ever made. And it has this Typher Dome, sorry, not the chicken. The roast beef for the sous vide, you will see it is the Arby's roast beef knockoff, and it is that sous vide over there. Now, that is a more expensive one. It is definitely the best I've ever used, and it is worth every penny. But if it's outside of your budget, you can also go to Amazon. You can use my Amazon link down below, and you don't even have to find it in my store. You can just click on my Amazon link, and then you can go to the search box and type in ANOVA, A-N-O-V-A. That is my second choice of sous vide. These are the best. ANOVA comes in second for me. And ANOVA has several different models at different price points. They all pretty much do the same thing. They just are more powerful. Some of the more expensive ones, so they can do a bigger batch, or bigger container of water. So, but yeah, I would suggest the Typher over here if you can. But if it's outside of your budget, I understand that.
Yeah. As someone who does not cook, by the way, I did not know how big of a difference it would make There's definitely a taste difference when you make things in that Taifer, so it really is worth the money. If you can,
it does an amazing job.
If you can get it, man, it's incredible.
And we've cooked sous vide stuff a lot. Because there was a time where Ash and I worked day jobs on completely opposite schedules, and so I would cook stuff and bag it up, and she would use the sous vide to finish it. And then she would put mine in when she would go to bed because I'd be getting home super late, so my food would be ready when I got home. So we used sous vides a lot. I've used sous vide for a long time, and I definitely know how to use them well. And this one is by far better. By far better. Okay, so there's our chicken roulade. It looks a little funky right now, and that's all right. So all we need to do is use a flame torch, have a little bit of fun. We're gonna make the outside look pretty. When you're using a flame torch, we don't use this darker, like thicker flame right there that's shorter. We use the tip of the longer flame out here because this is where the fuel is, this is where the heat is. So we use the tip of that further part of a flame torch. We don't want to get right in, we want to stay out here and use the tip. And just, you don't have to move a lot, but just a little bit of movement so you don't get like a big black burn spot somewhere, because that flame is very hot. And make sure you're using something metal like this little mini cookie sheet that I'm using. I may or may not have broken one of our plates doing this with a plate. My wife is very forgiving, but I did break one of her plates. I'm sorry about that, honey.
I forgave you. I was going to say, is it really even a Chris Cooking Nashville live stream if we don't have a little pyrotechnics?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, there have been ones where we haven't, but it sure makes it seem a lot more fun when we do.
Love it. Jill wants to know, by the way, is there also a link for your air fryer? She says it looks like a nice one.
Yes, the air fryer is the chicken video I was thinking of. The air fryer is like the best chicken I've ever made. The roadkill chicken, I forget exactly what the title of that is, but it's got that Taifer Dome air fryer on the thumbnail of it. If you just type in Chris Cooking Nashville air fryer, that should pop up, and it's, like I said, it's like the best chicken I've ever made, and it shows the chicken floating in heaven.
Yeah, the chicken floating in heaven.
Yeah, and that's got in the description of that is the link for that air fryer with a discount code for you guys. So, and I love Taifer. Like, Taifer makes amazing products. They've sent me kind of their 3 big flagship products, and all 3 of them are a part of my daily kitchen arsenal now.
Yeah. Awesome. John Y says, wow, rolled Cordon Bleu, that's awesome.
Yeah, and no breading, so you don't have to deal with trying to fry it and make a mess. That's kind of where I thought this would be a cool approach to this, because instead of fighting, trying to make a breading and then fry this and keep all the stuff inside and get it cooked and whatever, it's like, why don't we just sous vide it, do it without a breading, and do it as a roulade like this, and you can see the ham and all the cheese is on the inside there. So when you cut into this, all your ham and cheese is there on the inside, ready to go. It's going to be amazing.
Jill says we go outside and use the grill for this step.
Yep, that's a great way to do it. Cool. You can get that grill nice and smoking hot, and you can finish up your whatever sous vide dish on the grill, and then you get a little bit of smokiness from the grill as well. That's a fantastic technique for finishing sous vide stuff.
Maritza wants to know, what can you do if you don't have a flame torch?
If you don't have a flame torch, you can turn the broiler on your oven, put the rack as high as it'll go, stick this under the broiler, and just keep a real close eye on it, and turn it a couple of times to get that color just on the outside. Dry it off really well. You guys saw me pat it dry with paper towel. If it is wet on the outside, it is not going to brown very easily, and you will overcook it. So dry it with paper towel, even let it sit for a few minutes and cool down, and then throw it under a broiler, and you can get a nice little finish on it that way. Or you could also do it in a skillet if you wanted to add a little oil in a skillet, really smoking hot, and just sear it on both sides real fast. So these flame torches are also like $7, and it's like 20 bucks to get a canister like this. It's like a 6-pack of the canisters or something, and they last a long time. So if it's something you think you'd like to try, it's not a big investment to do it.
Lynn wants to actually know, 22Q Cat, where do you buy your flame torches at? Like Amazon, or where do you get them?
I just get them on Amazon. I get them on Amazon. If you guys would like to know specifically which one this is, I can send you a link to it. Just shoot me an email, info@chriscookingnashville.com. These are like $7 or $8 and they do a great job. Amazon is an amazing thing.
Really is, isn't it?
Yep.
John Y says, I don't have a torch yet, all in capitals.
Yes.
I'd wrap it in bacon and toss it in the air fryer.
And that would be an amazing way to do it too. You want to do it at max temperature, and what you can do, actually to make it even easier, take this out of the sous vide. Before you cut these bags open, dunk them in ice water. Cool them down rapidly and leave them in ice water for like 15 minutes. Wrap them in bacon, then put them in the air fryer, because as it crisps the outside, it'll re-warm the inside without overcooking it. That's how we do that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a plate. We are going to air fry, max temperature, for 1 minute. Our sauce is nice and thick, as you can see. Beautiful. That's exactly what we want, is that nice thick texture. And that's just on a low heat, so it's staying nice and warm. So, take our roulade. Now, I mean, is that beautiful with all that cheese inside, or what?
Looks amazing.
Yes. And gotta have sauce. Gotta have the sauce. That looks like a pretty incredible dinner to me.
That looks awesome. That's awesome.
Birthday girl has to taste that one today.
Okay. I get a taste test first?
You got to taste test first, especially on your birthday.
All right. I'll let you just kind of back up here.
Yeah.
Then. Let's see here if I can get you in frame. All right.
No one needs to see me.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Nah, I look the same as I always do.
All right.
It looks amazing. That's all I can say.
Would you actually want to come over here and just get a shot of me like cutting into it?
Yeah, for sure.
And
for
kind of see what it's like to cut into it?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Of course. She's trusting me to operate the camera, guys.
Ah.
Look at this.
You know what? I have full faith in you. I mean, that looks amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Looks so good. I really am into this sauce. I definitely am like, let's get some of that.
Yes.
All right.
You guys can see
Oh, snap.
the
It's so good.
beautiful insides, tastiness there. Yes, all the good stuff, all the good things.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It really is just like wrapped Cordon Bleu.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super, super good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I like the cheese, the ham, you get the saltiness, the
Yeah.
sauce on top, puts it all together. Your asparagus and all too is like so good, so well cooked. The bacon. It's, babe, that's yummy.
Well, I do what I can.
Very like impressive too, just like the way that it like is all put together and all. I feel like that is just
Yeah, it's a fun way of doing something. It's something totally different that, you know, like we don't normally think of like this being what like Cordon Bleu is, but this is like a really modern sort of totally different take on a Cordon Bleu. So, and it's very keto and carnivore friendly, depending on how you do the sauce, because we don't have to bread it and fry it and do all the typical things that, you know, a Cordon Bleu would normally have done to it. So it just makes it nice that we can enjoy it without having to regret all the carbs of fried foods, or without going through, I mean, you can do, you know, fried stuff with like different kinds of breadings. Like I've done that kind of thing before. You can totally do that, but it's also just kind of a mess to fry stuff.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So it's kind of nice to, you know, just not have to do that. So
For sure.
yeah.
Jill says, Ash, you are so adorable. Oh, snap. Yeah. I say that when I really, really like something.
That's right. That's right.
I was going to say, you can totally put some more of that sauce on there.
That's
what I'm talking about.
I figured you would enjoy some extra. I know my wife pretty well. I know what she likes.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah. Well, there we go, guys. That's how we do the Roulade Cordon Bleu. It's kind of a fun and really cool way to do something a little bit different, impress your friends and family. And the nice thing is doing sous vide like that, you can do that in the morning and have it ready to go. So you got guests coming over for dinner. You pull like 6 of these out of the sous vide, finish up a sauce real quick. You got a veggie to go with it, or maybe some other meat type thing. If you're doing carnivore, whatever you do, dinner's ready. Easy.
It's ready and it's awesome.
Entertaining becomes much easier in a situation like that.
Yeah. Francine says, that looks absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
And John says, that looks so yummy. So many people are just saying how great it is. And then 22Q Cat says, dinner's ready, calling Mel to the kitchen.
That's right.
She came in a little earlier and she's right at my feet now.
Yeah, she's laying down. She's ready.
She's ready. She's totally ready. Let's see here. And then I'm assuming maybe YouTube did a update because people are talking about ads being quite a bit, and I guess it's also in the comments. So
interesting. Yeah, it's, you know, I mean, basically what we do is we turn on the monetization because that's how we afford to have the channel, is to make the money, and then YouTube kind of decides what they do from there. There's only so much we can do to control it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I apologize for the inconvenience of the ads, but the truth is, if we didn't have the ads on here, we wouldn't be able to afford to have the channel, and I'd have to go get a day job, and you guys would never see me again. So I apologize for the ads, but it beats the alternative of me just not doing it at all. So
that is true.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money to do this, unfortunately, and a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
no, that's cool. Just thought we should address that real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kathy Hume is the sweetest. She says, thanks for another dinner idea. Looks so good. And she gave you a $19.99 super thanks.
Oh, Kathy, thank you so much. So speaking of the expensive ingredients it takes to do this, that pays for our dinner tonight. You are the sweetest, and we appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of people are just telling me happy birthday and how good and how yummy it looks. Let's see. If you guys have any last minute questions, feel free just to drop them below.
Yeah.
Janelle is saying, don't stay and chat with us tonight. Go and enjoy that birthday dinner while it's hot. So I think they're being quiet. I think they're worried we're going to sit here and talk for an hour.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think we have any other questions. It looks like.
Okay.
Is there anything else, my love, we need to talk about tonight? Or
I don't think so. We have the chicken wing video coming out Saturday. That is going to be fantastic. I just finished editing that today, and that will be uploaded sooner than later, hopefully. And that will be going live on Saturday. So you guys get your chicken wings ready, and also go check out the buffalo sauce video, because if you didn't know that you needed it before this video, you're definitely going to want it after this video. And we're going to show you guys how to make the most amazing crispy chicken wings in the world. So that was fantastic. We really love doing that. This is a really busy week for us. This is my youngest brother-in-law is getting married. Ash's youngest brother, Tristan. You guys have probably seen him in a couple of my recipe videos. He's getting married. So starting tomorrow is basically constant focus on wedding festivities, and we are going to be very, very busy. So I apologize, I'm a little out of pocket, not as posting as much, but we will be back and doing our regular things. So just do the best you can to kind of keep an eye on things, watch some videos for us, and I'll post as much as I can and try to answer comments the best that I can, and we're just going to have some fun. So make sure to go stream Ash's song that I've linked down below. This is a great way to say happy birthday. Follow her on YouTube if you haven't already, because we just appreciate you guys being our family and giving us a huge support here, and it just means a lot to us. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for telling my wife happy birthday. It has been a joy to spend some time with her today, and we're going to be celebrating probably after we get back from the California leg of our tour. We're going to go out and we're going to do some stuff and celebrate, and when we have time to really focus on it then. So but we appreciate you guys spending her birthday evening with us. We're going to go eat our dinner. Thank you for all that you guys do to support us. We love all of you. This is Chris Cooking Nashville. My beautiful wife over there, Ash Taylor, celebrating her birthday today. You guys eat your meat, especially when it looks like a chicken cordon bleu roulade. Love your life. We'll see you here in the kitchen for more backstage recipes, more recipe videos, up in the studio for more health things and motivation and all the stuff we do. And we'll see you everywhere online. We love you guys, and we hope you have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.